What's up everyone, Matthew Monas here, and today I'm going to be revisiting the Galaxy S7 Edge. It's been out for a year and the Galaxy S8 has been announced, but not everyone buys their phones brand new, and some like to save money by buying the best of last year. Now if that's you, then you come to the right place. I'll talk about what I like, what I don't like, and whether or not it's still worth it. Okay, so let's talk hardware. It's still a beautiful phone and probably one of the best looking devices of 2016. The glass back and edge display stand out compared to the metal slabs that we are used to seeing. But there are some disadvantages to having such a beautiful phone. For one, my wife and myself can't stand the edge display. Even though it's gotten significantly better since the S6 Edge, typing on it is still more uncomfortable than a regular flat surface. On top of that, there's a lot of mistakes made due to palm rejection not being 100%. This is the main reason I refuse to use a phone with an edge display as my daily driver. Now don't get me wrong, with every iteration like the Note 7, it seems to be getting better, but it still serves no useful purpose. Surprisingly, for a year of use, it's in pretty good condition. There's the odd dent or scratch, but overall it's in impressive shape. Buttons are still tactile, the physical home button is still pretty clicky, but you can obviously tell it's lost some of its stiffness. I've dropped it a few times too with a case on and have had no cracks in the glass. Now I know others who haven't been so lucky. The display has been epic. It's still one of the best displays you can get on a smartphone. However, recently I've gotten these dreaded black lines going horizontally across the screen. I've tried everything to fix it, even factory resetting, but it seems to be hardware related. The funny thing is, if I keep the brightness at full capacity, it will go away, but as soon as you lower it, the horizontal lines come back. It's definitely a hardware defect. I did a quick search and there seems to be a lot of others who have the same issue. The always on display I've come to love. It's such clutch when you're sleeping at night and need to quickly look over to check the time. So most of us can admit Samsung has come a long way with its software. It's a bit more visually appealing to look at with a little bit less bloat. However, after using the phone over a long period of time, my wife would constantly complain about lag and slow to load apps. I've factory reset the phone for her, I've wiped the cache. Things would be great for a while, but then again, back to square one. I'm also using the model with the Exynos 8890 chipset, which usually fares better than its Snapdragon counterpart. I was hoping the update to Android 7.0 would make a big difference, but unfortunately it didn't. Now I know, it sounds like I'm making this phone to be pretty bad. It's not. It's a good phone, and I'm sure everyone's experience with it so far is gonna be slightly different from mine. But I think one thing we can all agree on is how epic this camera is. It's one of the best, if not the best camera of 2016, and so far into 2017. It takes great photos, it's good in low light, it has super fast autofocus, and I absolutely love the double press of the home button to quickly launch the camera. Battery life is another area where this phone excels too. I can easily end the day with 30 to 40% battery life left with heavy usage, something that I currently can't do with the Google Pixel XL. Plus, combine that with wireless charging and fast charging, there ends up being very little downtime. At the end of the day, Samsung always throws the latest and greatest tech into their phones, like water resistance, a micro SD card slot, and a super fast fingerprint scanner. So these are other great features packed into this beautiful package. Oh yeah, there's one other thing I don't like, I forgot to mention, the mono speaker. It's not that great for sound, but to be honest, I'd rather have water resistance over one epic mono speaker. So that pretty much wraps up my long-term review of the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. It's still one of the most beautiful looking smartphones you can buy today. It has a gorgeous display, epic camera, great battery life, and all the little features you'd expect on a flagship phone. But software experience still needs improvement and the edge display is impractical. Now, for those of you who have this phone, it's still great, and I honestly wouldn't bother upgrading to the Galaxy S8. However, for those of you considering this phone as your next device, I would only buy it if you can snag one for a great deal. Now, I think the sweet spot is around $400 US. So I am going to be reviewing the Galaxy S8, so if you're excited about that, make sure to hit the like button. I also want to hear from people who have the Galaxy S7 Edge. Let me know what you like or dislike about it in the comments below. Thanks again, guys, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.